Hi, thanks for stopping by my channel, Gather and Create. My name's Esther and I have a cute little project to share with you today. So let's get going and I'll show you how to do it. It's of Whisper White. That is the full width there, the 21 centimetres by 16, just short of 16 centimetres is the size I'm going to cut my dies from, and it'll probably leave me room in the middle as well to cut my tag shape out. So I'll grab my big shot. Lay it down that way first. Just going to tuck that in a bit. I'm going to roll my handle. That's one cut. Run it through again for the other half of the box. Plate on top. Okie dokes, put that to one side. I'll need that again in a minute when I've done the stamping to do the tag. So that's what your piece of card looks like once you've cut two out. So I'm not going to waste this. My tag will come out of that. But more importantly, for now, I now have two pieces of Whisper White cut. Starts because stone under my chair. Now I'm going to show you the fun part of the stamping. So as I said, I'm going to use the Sincerely Yours stamp set, and it's this stamp with the three Christmas icons on. So you have the star, candy cane and a snowflake. Now I don't want them all the same colour, so I'm going to use Stampin' White markers. If you haven't used these before, they have a brush end and a fine tip end. They are basically like colouring pens, watercolour pens and ink pads all in one. Then I'll show you why it's like an ink pad, because I'm going to use this to colour the stamp in. So first of all, it will tell you the thick. I want to use the brush end, and there's the thick line there is the brush end. I'll show you what the fine tip looks like. I'm just going to take the lids off for now, because I'm going to do repeated stamping, so there'll be a lot of re-inking it. Obviously it's a bit of a longer process than just dabbing it in an ink pad, but it is worth it. So for now I'm going to leave it completely flat, and then once I've done all the stamping, we'll pop the box together. So all you do is take your brush end and colour in. Yellow star, red candy cane. So this is Pool Party, the red is Real Red and the yellow is Daffodil Delight. Now to re-moisten it, you just huff on your stamp, and that will re-moisten it enough to stamp with. Now we're just going to do some random stamping, and one thing to remember about stamping with your Stampin' Right markers is to just leave it a couple seconds longer than you would for a normal regular ink pad, and there you go, there you have a different coloured image there. Obviously you can do that with all sorts of stamps. Unless I kind of contaminate one image with ink from another, I shouldn't really need to clean my stamp in between. No, it's a bit more long-winded, but it's not a huge area to cover, and the effect is worth it. I'm going to just remember to turn my stamp so it's going in different directions. Such a cute little stamp. Right, where's my candy cane this time? I think I'll go, let's go that way. And this is obviously the base, this is the top. Into your brush lettering, these Stampin' Right markers are also very good for that. At least the images aren't too big, so you can get them coloured pretty quick. Okay, so stamping complete. Let's just pop my lids back on my pens. So just a reminder, that's Daffodil Delight. This is Pool Party. And this is Real Red. Now I'm going to grab my bone folder. So you can already see that the die has cut and scored it where we want, but I just want to get all of those sharp so that we can get everything lined up properly. Obviously be more careful if you are using designer series paper. You will just probably want to fold that rather than score it as well. And this is one of the specialty ones, obviously they're thicker again. That's all. Oops, just do that one. I sort of pinch it so that it comes to the correct line and then go over. Do the second one. That's it, that's everything. Oops, just one more. Folded and scored. Almost everything. Let's check I've done all that. Okay, so they now look like this. Now I'll show you where to put your adhesive. So I'm going to use tear tape along, so with the stamped side facing up, where you can see the tabs is where you need some tear tape adhesive. I need to come down a bit lower for you. Along all those 4 tabs. So handy when it does just tear. Okay, now I'll show you how it comes together. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you going to want to glue those 2 bits together. And now I'm not going to use tear tape because I do like to use just liquid glue, just so I get that wiggle room and I can just check that I've got that completely lined up. Because it's quite small, there's really no room for error of getting the base glued. Because if you're slightly off, then nothing's going to attach in the right place. So I will use some wet glue on that. So let's grab my one that's actually got some glue in it. My multi-purpose liquid glue. Just do a little squiggle. Lie that on top so that they match. Just going to check underneath. Yeah, it's all nicely lined up. See, that just allows you that little bit of fiddle time. Okay, so now where we've put that adhesive on the tabs, it's just a matter of putting them in place. So just going to grab take your pick tool. I'm going to use this little spatula end to just grab the ends of that tape. I'm going to just take all the bits of tape off and do them in one go. Okay, now time to put it together. So let's get those tabs folded in. That's one. Two. So that is the box made. Just redo that. Just want to take your thumb inside the box and just squeeze where you've added those bits of adhesive. So just fold it down. I'm ignoring that bit of splodge of ink in there. I have seen it. So that's the box itself. Very, very cute. But we're going to decorate it a little bit more. Just fold the lid in, and then those two come together really nicely. Obviously don't recommend giving this to someone empty. You're going to be, I mean, as much as your stamping and your embellishments might be pretty, you could disappoint someone. So don't miss out the step of actually putting something in it. Oops, this really isn't that hard, apart from when you're on camera. Then suddenly it becomes the most impossible task. It is not hard. Okay, then you can just lift those up like that. Just adds that little extra decor. Isn't it so cute? You can always just go along the edges a bit more, burnish them. It's perfect as it is. And I love those little icons on there. So let's get going with making the tag. Here we go. Thought that I had misplaced it. So now I'm going to use Yum from the Takeout Treats stamp set. It's this one here, Yum. But it suited the style of it quite well. So just grab that piece. I'm going to use my scraps because I like to use my scraps. Cut that off a bit. And just stamp that. I'm going to just use a regular ink pad this time rather than the Stampin' Right marker, just using the real red. Yum. And I'll just run that through the big shot. I just want to grab my magnetic plate this time. Squash my box, it's under the handle. Okay. One tag. So that's to one side so I don't misplace it and spend an hour looking for it. Anyone else do that with their dies? Stamps. It's always the little ones, isn't it? They get away from you. Okay, let's close my ink pad up. So I have my little tag and I want to add some ribbon as well. And the ribbon I'm going to add is this, what's it called? I can't remember, it's on my supply list I expect, but it's a very fine real red ribbon. So it doesn't, because the box is quite small, it doesn't detract from it at all. It just adds a nice little something without covering up all that lovely stamping that you would have done. So it is slippery, so I have a couple of things that I would recommend. Kind of going to have to decide which one you want as your front or your back. I think I'll go with this as the back, and I'm going to use a glue dot So when I start wrapping the ribbon around, I've actually got something to stick on to. Now the glue dot is still a bit wider than the ribbon, so you might just want to scrunch it up a little bit. So obviously it's a very thin ribbon, so scrunch it up a little bit, then use that as your starting point, and that will hold it in place for you while you do your tying of the bow and stuff. Probably cutting this longer than it needs to be, but it's fine. And then in a moment, when I've tied my bow, I'm going to add another little glue dot to just keep it all in place. So as it goes down the box, because obviously it's going to a narrower part, it will slip off, which is why you need the glue dot to keep it exactly where you wanted it. So I'm going to add my glue dot now. I'm just going to make the bow slightly smaller before the glue dot actually, and then I can get that exactly where I want it to stay. The glue dots will definitely be your friends on this occasion. Just push that up into the right place. And tighten it. Need one more bit of tightening actually. See how much easier it is to work with just having that little glue dot in place there. Oops. Can never tie a bow when you know people are watching. Okay. Right, that is behaving itself now. Could just twizzle it along. That is where it should be. I'm just going to trim that bit of ribbon. And for attaching the tag, I'm going to use some white baker's twine. Doesn't need to be much. Feed that through the hole. And then attach. Depends how much you want that to dangle down. My scissors are not clean. Been cutting sticky stuff with it, and then to hold that in place, I'm going to use a dimensional, because that will just raise it up a little bit more again. You can tuck a little bit under there. Where have you gone? That's very cute. Right, a dimensional. That kind of like that. I just want to sort this twine out a bit more. Probably should have done a bit less of a dangle. I may actually tighten that up a bit. I don't think it will want me to now, but still, actually I quite like that loop. That loop works really nicely. So anyway, that's it. That's how it works. There's one with a slightly tighter knot there, whichever one you prefer. But yeah, both the same. Just obviously the stamping will come out very slightly differently. But yeah, that's how you make this cute little stamped takeout box. I wonder if it needs another little glue dot. I think I might need another little glue dot there. Let's keep it in place. The glue dots are in front of me, aren't they? I just know it. Yes, they are. And the beauty of the ribbon being around the outside is that your recipient can open it and close it as many times as they want, but they'll still have a perfectly intact looking box. So that is super fun. That's it from me today. Have a great rest of the week. If you have any questions, do let me know. Yes, the supply list is there. If your shopping trolley on my online store comes to more than £100, it may be well worth you considering joining my team, because you will get to choose £130 worth of products for £99 and have ongoing discount. So you can find that on my website, gatherandcreate.stampinup.net/join the fun. And I'd love to have you as part of my team, and I'd love to see you enjoy all those extra perks as well. So yeah, have a great rest of the day, and I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye bye.